Here we are once again with Darkest Fear and old mobile phone games. I'm Waldo Richards and this is DaGameTrain. Let's play some Darkest Fear 2, Grim Oak. It's a sequel to Darkest Fear 1. And it's a step towards the new direction, I gotta say. It's a little different than the first game, but it still has the core mechanic of light play, the shadow monsters, and the spooky atmosphere, which we all love from the first game. We also improved the music. Listen. Sounds weirdly spooky, I guess. It's different. But anyway, 5 years ago, Thomas and Helen Warden survived the horrendous events of a Grim Oak hospital. The story time. Local monastery that financed the hospital's human tests took all of the patients to quarantine. The citizens were told that they had a dangerous disease. Yeah, right. Yesterday, the monastery informed that all of the patients had died from this disease. Now it has spread to the city of Grim Oak. People are terrified. Monks have told the citizens that they are developing an antidote for this disease. And here's Thomas Warden. Monks are telling lies. There was no weird disease in the hospital. They made human tests. That's true. Disease from a hospital is spread to the city. Monks are only trying to help us. Get lost, Warden. Let's drink. I'm sorry about Helen, but citizens are bored with your tales about dark monsters and human tests. Yeah, I bet they would get tired, especially when he has little to no proof. And of course he passes out because he was drinking too much. Then he wakes up, all alone. Weird, isn't it? Let's read the note by walking towards it. Easy, isn't it? Morning, Thomas. Monks have medicine for the disease. We were told to go to the city center to get it. Come when you wake up. Signed, Bartender Jack. City center. First I gotta get out of this joint. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, hold on, I'm stuck. Oi, what was that? Was that a dangerous dark monster? Holy shit. I have to stay in the light, since the monsters are afraid of it. I must avoid darkness or I will lose energy. Well, it would be correct to just say that you will die, but whatever. This level is more like a tutorial. It's not like you can easily get yourself killed. I never tried to get killed in here because it's not that hard. But it will teach you the basics that you're supposed to know in a very quick fashion. It's perfect for those who've played Darkest Fear 1 and picked up this game a while later, and they kind of forgot what's it all about. It even teaches you how to correctly place flashlights, which is very good. I like this addition to the tutorial. The first game didn't mention that, and was, well, a little more difficult to figure out how to use the flashlight. Not that it was so damn hard I could never work it out myself, but still, a slight addition is always nice. Hell, we even added arrows to point you to the right direction. Now that's nice. Now this is where you see effort. For a mobile phone game, of course. Windows are still around and you can still use them to generate light, which is nice. And lanterns, of course, are still safe light sources. They still work the same way. They project an aura of light, while the flashlights project a beam. Now there's a few new things, of course, like the wall lamps. They use light bulbs to work. So if there's a light bulb, it'll work. It'll make light. But if it isn't, well, it won't. You can pick up light bulbs from working lamps and move them to other lamps if you really need to. And of course, as the game suggests, bulbs are only level specific. You can't carry them over to other places. The shit, am I stuck? Oh yeah, there was a wall. Alright, nice. Now you'll notice that whenever you exit the level successfully, you get batteries. They're supposed to be used for the camera, which you can find later on. But fuck if I know what that's supposed to do. I never used it. So, if you know how to use the camera and what's it good for, let us know. Another addition to this game is that you have an inventory now. You will collect items and even combine them to get other items and progress through the game. But don't think that this is gonna make the game any longer. Actually, this game was about 20 minutes shorter than the first game, which is ridiculous when you think about it. But who cares really? It's still a pretty long game considering it's a phone game. Like I said last time, usually phone games lasted just as long as Atari games used to, like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's only to get score. Like seriously, the shit that Atari 2600 players had to go through, it kind of came back in a full circle on mobile phones. Remember Snake? That was the shit. But now it's said that everyone would be here. But where are they? The shit, man. Ain't nobody but this guy. Did you see where the citizens went? Sure. They followed the monks to the secret monastery. I just escaped from there. All the patients are still alive. Holy shit, so they lied to us. I have to find the citizens before it's too late. Maybe Helen is alive too. So we got ourselves an objective. We have to find a way into the secret monastery of these shady as fuck monks that showed up out of nowhere very coincidentally. And hope to God that Helen, Thomas Warden's daughter, is still alive. Oh, that's another addition. That is a light switch. You can use it to turn on light in certain rooms. Very useful because this works like a giant lantern in most cases. Very nice. The dark monsters are back and you can still kill them with light. Thomas Warden, why aren't you getting the medicine from the monks? There are the monks taking those people, and why are you still here? Are you involved in this conspiracy? Huh? Motherfucker. Thomas, you have no idea where you are poking your nose into. Damn, that's a smug smile if I ever seen one. She turned off the lights. And she dropped a map too. Well, as the game suggests, you can look at the map if you press 0. But you never really need to look at the map actually. It's like, yeah, it's nice to have a map to know where is what, but the game world isn't that big, so most of the time you'll just know where to go anyway. Yeah, ignore that message for now. You can find coins around here. Coins are actually useless, but if you find certain amounts of them, you will be able to unlock certain items. Well, more like certain things, not items. But first, there's a sheriff in Neville, and he has something very useful to us. His star. We'll need to fish it up somehow later, but let's ignore that for now. The coins are usually for unlocking various links or useful information. Like you'll see later that I unlock a link to a walkthrough, which no longer actually works. And here's the museum chief. I'm one of the monk's 6 agents. My work is to guard one of the grave key pieces which combined will open your way to the secret monk monastery. Save the citizens, Warden. You will need 6 grave key pieces to get to the monastery. Here's a list of the grave key guardians. Well, at least he's being good. Alright, as you can see, these are the people we have to find ourselves grave key pieces. One of them is Dr. Susan Warden, Thomas's wife. How the hell are we gonna get that shit off of her? She's dead. I mean, Helen ripped her fucking face off when she was turned into a monster. Then we gave her the antidote, and now she's dead. Sure. And here's a statue. Looks pretty creepy, doesn't it? We'll need to look at it later. For now, just keep in mind that there's something missing on it, and that it shoots laser beams. Cool, I guess. What you can also find is the putrid muffin. Find all 18. What happens if you do? Fuck if I know. I have managed to find all 18 of them. It's not hard. Usually they are hidden in places where you have to bullshit around until you get some light source in there. But other than that, they don't really do anything. Oh yeah, don't forget to take your broom from here. You need to use it as a lever, but don't leave it behind, dumb shit. Wouldn't want that to happen. Oh boy, I sure hope that's not a shop over there. Fuck! Okay, another addition is new boss fights. Ones that are actually action-packed and involved. You see that cunt? Yeah, looks like an anime character actually, but in reality it's a monster with really big ass claws coming out from its face. Yeah, look at that. I got myself a walkthrough link. And how do you kill this boss? How the hell do you kill this bitch? Well, the same way you kill anything in here, with light. However, the situation here is a little interesting, let's say. Look, the monster will take damage if it's sitting on a lantern. However, once it goes back into the dark, itself instantly regenerates. So we got ourselves a huge ass problem. How do we get the thing stuck long enough on the light to get itself killed? That's a question I always wanted an answer myself, because I've never figured out how to do this right. I do know how you're supposed to kill it, but how to do it? No fucking clue. The idea is that you're supposed to trap the creature in the middle of the room where there's the most light. Then you just trap it with lanterns and leave it rot for a bit. The best I managed to do one time is get it stuck between the boxes and lanterns and just keep going back and forth with very little health left. But it wouldn't die, it just refused to stay still long enough. Luckily, in this playthrough, I have devised a completely different strategy, which actually worked. It is a very daredevil-ish strategy, actually. And I would not recommend it myself, but I had to take something. Look at this. He's not gonna go to the light because he knows he's gonna get himself killed like that. But if you're out in the dark, whatever. And this is where I realized, why don't I just do this? Yeah, fight me, noob, fight me! One-on-one, motherfucker! Yeah! Yeah, you could just sit inside of a bastard while he's clawing at your face with the lantern. Apparently that kills him. What the shit, man? If I knew that before, I wouldn't have struggled with this fucking boss fight for 3 fucking hours straight. Yeah, you can get stuck with this bastard this long, even longer if you're unlucky.